We are going to be talking about the subject of violence in this room. What it is, what its different forms are, what causes it, how it affects us, and how we can prevent it in order to make the community better, right? For ourselves and for other people. I want you all to be as imaginative and to use as much outside of the box thinking as possible. I also need you to respect one another. You're going to be sharing experiences and the way you feel about important issues, and we need to take care of each other when we do that, right? You're going to be developing a statement declaring what you as youth need to be safe and more successful and to have more opportunities in the community. You're going to have the ability to speak directly to City Hall, to let them know what you need in order to do better and what City Hall can do to help you with that. What commitment they can make to help you all have more opportunities. Because here's the thing, you guys are going to be teenagers for only so long. But after you, your little brothers, your little sisters, and other kids in the community are going to grow up to be your age. And you have the choice to either do nothing to make the community better for them and for yourselves so that we can all be healthier and more successful, or to make an impact. And if you're able to compel City Hall and others to collaborate with you to do more for local youth, you're going to have accomplished something that's truly meaningful and something that will have repercussions that other people in our community will feel and benefit from both now and in the future.
Violence to me is non-physical and physical aggression towards another.
Something negative happening, like someone is in the process of getting hurt. Fighting, be verbally or suicidal.
Trying to either intimidate someone or put fear in someone or just trying to cause harm to anyone or anything.
People use their anger in a bad way.
Anything that will hurt somebody. Could be verbal, physical.
It's something that people have inside them that they can't really get out.
Anything that's hurtful to someone or meant to hurt someone or meant to harm someone in any way, either physically, emotionally, or just try to get in their head, to hurt them in any other way.
Lack of resources, past trauma.
Like drugs and alcohol, for an example, that can cause stuff. Mental issues, stuff with family, because that'll lead to anger, like I said.
Unfairness, segregation, grudges.
Sometimes it's what happens in their homes, it's what they grow up with.
Like who the people they're around, what's happening around them, and their problems. And some people, stress causes them to harm themselves.
Maybe the people who are causing it are the people that, I don't know, they've been through problems. Maybe some of them been through problems that's the way they act out on other people because they've gone through that and they don't know how to really control it, so they bully or act on other people like that.
Like deprivation is a passive form of violence. If you deprive somebody of their education, then that's going to lead to more violence down the road, and then it's just an endless cycle of poverty and violence.
The people who are victims of it probably feel insecure or feel like they're not safe or it's not a place for them. That's how they feel. Everyone would be kind of in their own little worlds because they don't want to get involved with each other or be a real community.
Some houses, there's some child abuse, and now we grow up thinking, when is the next time I'm gonna get hit? When is the next time I'm gonna get hurt? Because you're so used to it, so you're expecting it. And a lot of people, I guess, they don't think about people don't think about the good in life. They think about what's gonna happen bad next. When's the next violent altercation I'm gonna get into?
Our image is bad enough. No one comes here because they think our community is bad. But then when people ask you, where do you live? Oh, I live in Omaraj, or you live there? Their reaction is that you live there. It's scary because you actually know what goes around because you live here and you see the stuff that happens.
There's not enough resources in the community to help prevent violence.
Down at the park that's just down the road, I've seen fights break out. I've seen people roll through on bikes with baseball bats.
Mirage is kind of a small community, but it's not really as great as it could be because there's lots of open fields here, and there could be so many more youth groups, more something like DCC or YMCA or anything like that, any youth groups to keep the kids occupied, but I don't really know why there's not really.
After exploring the issue of violence through films, group discussions, writing activities, brainstorming sessions, and the sharing of one another's stories and experiences, the teens began to see youth violence and other negative behavior as a symptom of larger issues such as poor education, difficult family situations, past trauma, the abundance of available drugs and weapons, and the lack of positive development opportunities.
Everyone on this side, are you guys in the middle or on the yes? You're on yes. So everyone here, a youth, you or a youth you know has access to a weapon. Yes. What are some causes of violence? What can happen to a community that has these things happen? People are skipping school because they're afraid to go to school. What else? What happens if you don't go to school? For a long period of time.
You go to court, you drop out.
Sure, you gotta go to court, you might drop out. What don't you get if you drop out?
Education.
You don't get an education. Good job.
And then you spend your entire life with like the built up anger, and then you go around taking it out on people that don't deserve it.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that are like that.
They began to reflect on the importance of local youth programs, and they concluded that although violence could never be totally eliminated, it and other negative behaviors could be greatly reduced in communities with a diverse range of accessible youth programs and social services, all while preparing the youth to become healthy and successful adults. They then reached out to local leaders to get their perspective on the importance of social services, programs, and resources.
Having services for a community, I think, is what makes it great. Not just services like your utilities and things like that, but if you need help. A community that invests in the people that live within that community, to me, that's ideal. Just making sure that we're supporting and investing in each other.
After school and summer camp programs that allow youth to be somewhere safe during the summer and after school hours, make sure that they're doing something positive with their time, and give them opportunities to develop and grow socially and also academically.
A place that would be safe for our youth, where they feel safe and they're able to be nurtured in every aspect of their lives, so that they can become productive members of society as well as become great adults.
Social services are very, very important because not everybody has access to those resources organically, meaning that sometimes the place where you're born and the people that you are living with when you're growing up, it's not always the most ideal situation. So if we can kind of supplement that and help people that need our services, we're kind of preventing those issues from coming up later when you're an adult, making sure that you do get enough to eat, that you're medically sound, and that you have a good education. So again, you grow up to be an adult that makes good decisions and becomes a good contributor to society.
Just because the resources aren't there don't mean that you guys aren't having successes, that you guys aren't being healthy, that you guys aren't having safety, but it means that the risk for you to not have those things is much, much higher. If the youth don't have the type of things that they need in the community in order to grow and to develop and have opportunities, they can be affected negatively by not being able to keep up in school, by not being able to perform at the level that their character and capabilities might otherwise dictate. All those things add up and put pressure on youth in communities like that, and if you don't have those resources to help alleviate some of that pressure, it's going to be harder to be successful, and it's going to be harder for the community to be successful.
An ideal community would have all the resources for the youth to succeed. Educational support with all the, the budget cuts that Dysart the Dysart Unified School District went through, providing other outlets like tutoring and computer help, reading help, those little things make a big difference.
We can't tutor all 850 students every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that everyone needs tutoring, but we all need help at some point. Because academics are pretty demanding. With what we're being asked to do now, the kind of tests we have to take, it's a change. You're being asked to think critically and not just answer, A or B. You're being asked A or B and why and how did you get there.
We can utilize what we have, just work together and really put emphasis on our youth.
So the more that we invest in our children, making sure that they are well fed, that they are safe, that they're medically sound, and that they have a good education, to me that's a good investment, because that means they're going to grow up into happy, healthy, well-adjusted adults. And I'll be old at that time, so you guys will be making all the decisions and doing all the voting, and so I want you to be in a good place, both physically and emotionally.
Ultimately, you guys are our future, and we're going to depend on you all one day. We're going to be the older population, and we need to be able to turn around and know that you guys are making great choices. And the only way we can ensure that is by giving you guys solid foundations.
But sometimes people think children don't have anything interesting or smart to say, and I work with kids and I know that's absolutely not true.
We don't know how to help you unless you guys are speaking to us. Unless we are hearing from you what your concerns are, what your problems are, what your needs are, we don't know how to focus our programs for you.
I think sometimes because youth don't always have a voice, and because youth aren't always made to feel like they can have an impact on the community around them, that it's easy to ignore them. And like Lord said, passively so. I mean, I don't know that anybody is making a conscious decision to, hey, everybody, let's ignore the youth. I don't think that's happening, but I think it's just easy to forget because their voice can be so minimized. So prioritizing youth, making the conscious decision to put youth ahead of some of the other things that we might otherwise prioritize would be a huge and impactful first step in order to create a community where the youth have more opportunities.
If you don't speak up, no one is listening.
It's really cool because we get to find new friends. We do different things, not the same thing all the time. Like reading, we do arts and crafts, we do gym, rec. You don't become like lazy. You actually want to do stuff.
I volunteer. I love taking care of these little kids. They're all around me, always want me to carry me. Sammy! Gets me out of my house and just it makes me feel like a better person.
I help the kids. I play games with them, make sure they're being safe, and just talk to them, communicate with them. It gets my mind off a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff that I would think about if I wasn't here.
Right.
And it just helps me taking care of kids, they make me happy.
I volunteer, I help the staff with the kids. Yeah, it helps me a lot because when I'm down, they put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
We do creative stuff with Miss Priscilla that keeps our mind active for the school year.
Mm-hmm.
And in Miss Susie's, it keeps our thinking right on, like reading. We always read in there. And in Miss Wally's, it keeps our time to cool down. And then keeps our time to cool down, and then we get into the gym, and then basically let all our energy out. Keeps me active, yeah, and it keeps me away from, again, all the drugs, alcohol, and weapons and stuff like that.
Here at the center, I volunteer. It helps me personally because, I can't see my family right now, so, it's just I would say a medicine. It's just gets me through the day just to see that I'm influencing somebody in a good way.
I come and help kids, get them active, and then when they have problems, I'll be there to solve them. I like it very much, meeting new people, and then I just made 2 new best friends now.
Coming here, makes me stay away from that stuff because I see how people, they don't need that to just have fun.
Right.
They just be themselves without doing anything that's violent or anything.
I volunteer. I've been going here since I was 5 or 6. I would have a lot of fun here. That's obviously why I kept coming here. If I didn't go to DCC, I would stay at home because my mom has to work and we can't go anywhere. But yeah, I love it here. Yeah. It's really fun. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, yes, to go to summer camp.
It teaches me about leadership, about responsibility, and about discipline.
Team program, that's an amazing part of my weeks now. They make living in the group home a lot better because I know that I've got a place to come during the day and just hang out. It also helps me, it makes me feel good knowing that I'm helping people in the community by being here and helping out. That helps me feel good about myself. like watching you or Lord or Priscilla like kind of like direct people and lead people in the right direction that are trying to do good. It helps me like learn more about like how I need to do things.
It's important because some of the kids or me, we don't really get a chance to get out or learn stuff on our own. And here we learn about leadership, like I said, and that could help us change in a person because we talk about good things and how we could change this person.
Everyone's just like close to each other. I mean, like ever since the first day of camp, so like now the last week we're all like family and stuff.
As one of their final workshop activities, the teens used what they had learned about violence, its causes and prevention strategies, as well as the importance of positive youth programming opportunities to create their ideal El Mirage landscape. They created a facility to host sports clinics, a late-night community theater where teens could go for positive recreation at night when other local facilities are closed, a light rail for better transportation, a shopping mall to increase the number of entry-level employment opportunities for teens, a science center, an institute for art and music, a rehab center, a safe space where homeless and abused youth can sleep, a religious coalition building to bring people of different faiths together, and an increased number of community centers for developing more programs like theirs.
Oh, it would be like a public art wall or somewhere where kids can show their art without having to do it on public buildings.
Maybe more academic programs, maybe more sports programs, and you know, because like they're cutting nowadays, like in school they just cut soccer and they made baseball into boys softball because they only have a softball field. And so maybe having more sports programs, because school is, you know, everything is about school, but then like if I don't do really that good and I don't do my best in school if I don't have anything else to entertain myself, because then I just start slacking because there's nothing really I need to stay focused on.
Coming up with a few more programs that, you know, kids can go to.
And they should just really have their eyes open to see like some of the stuff we've been doing.
Maybe for the Dysart community to be more extended in more areas where other people could go. I think if more people came here, they have more fun and they stay more away from violent stuff, and they just wouldn't be like some kids nowadays, they're getting in trouble, getting arrested for the things that they shouldn't be doing.
Right.
So like I think like if it extended, more and more people would be able to come here and stay away from violence.
And they have other things that they would rather do than drugs and violence.
We want a better community, and when we see a bunch of violence and other miscellaneous things that's not good for the community, we also take shame in it because we feel like the elders of this community are looking down on us, and we want to express what we truly have.
I really hope that they can consider doing something to help better the youth, because it really does help, obviously, with me, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. I just think that they need more places like this, like the DCC or any other organization that would help, because the kids need it.
Right.
The kids need it. It really helps with the parents, because the parents are able to work while their kids are safe and being watched, and the kids are being safe and they're also having fun and they have something to do, and they're not being exposed, I guess, to the negative activities that's happening maybe somewhere else. And the more facilities that we have like this, the less violence the less violence there is to expose.
Yeah.
So I just think it benefits everyone.
As proud, talented, and conscientious members of this community, we are considerate of the conditions in which we find ourselves and the prospects for our future. We began this project concerned about the prevalence of violence in our lives, the threat of physical force, verbal abuse, and emotional trauma. But in the course of discussing these threats, the root causes, and ways that we can prevent them, a new and more pervasive concern developed: that our community is significantly lacking in positive development opportunities for youth. We all know that we stand a better chance of resisting the constant pressure to engage in negative activities such as violence, drugs, and crime if we have access to productive alternatives that not only occupy our time but allow us to develop our skills grow our capacity for leadership, express ourselves, fulfill our basic needs, and discover passions or talents that we never knew we had or simply never had the opportunity to explore. We know that these opportunities are essential to our ability to reach our full potential and become healthy and productive adult members of the community. While we truly appreciate the few organizations, churches, and schools who are doing what they can for us, there simply aren't enough of them to have the kind of reach and impact necessary to truly support our development. We need a diverse range of accessible opportunities and resources that reflect the dynamic talents and needs of all our local youth. It is for this reason that we are reaching out to City Council. Today, we declare a request that local city government commit to a greater prioritization of youth needs so that we can establish a safer, healthier, and more enriching environment in which to grow into productive adult members of the community. We believe that you are an influential force and that you can set an example which others will follow. We believe that you have the power to move others to act. Based on our collective experience, we have identified the following areas that could be further developed in our community to support local youth: education, mental and emotional health care, safety, the arts, science and technology, athletics, recreation, leadership opportunities, and employment. To these ends, we recommend that the City of El Mirage create a paid position and a budget line item dedicated to increasing meaningful development opportunities for local youth. We understand that government and community building is difficult and complicated work, but we believe that this is an entirely realistic and absolutely essential request. We want to create a new future for the betterment of ourselves and our community, and we are proud of the hard work that we have poured into this project to help make a change. We do not intend to be passive participants in these efforts moving forward. We are committed to serving our community as volunteers for community projects, neighborhood cleanups, mentoring, tutoring, coaching, and other activities that have a positive impact on youth, all while meeting the responsibilities placed upon us by our families and our schools. We ask that you join us in our efforts and that you make a commitment to us in our future. We need each other. Someday, in the near future, we are going to run the city. We are going to be leading the community. We are going to be making the important decisions. We need your support now so that we can reach the full potential of our character and capabilities in order to rise to these challenges. We have a proud voice and we are learning to use it. We ask that you hear it and take it seriously. The extent to which you are willing to do so carries the potential to alter our futures for better or worse. We believe in ourselves and we believe in our community. We compel you to harness that momentum. We don't expect to be handed everything that we want, but we do expect that effort will be made by the leaders of our community to help provide us with the things that we need. Once City Council members have thoroughly discussed this matter, we ask that the Council contact us to schedule an in-person response. Respectfully signed, Sammy Ibarra, Shanice Stiles, Sarah Saldana, David Hermosillo, David Ramirez, Cordell Manuel, Dalen Chiago, Jose Santana, Daniel Newell, Mason Newell, Giovanni Puente.